Hello awesome people, welcome back to Software Inc. One of the first videos we're recording whilst I'm back. I've been gone for a while. If you don't know why, there's a video up on my channel. It's not a very happy one, but you know, it's an explanation. And for the meantime, due to coronavirus, I can't record videos every day. So we will be trying some simple videos, some one-offs basically. So we can't really do seasons, but we will come back with that as soon as possible. But I will try to, do some videos. So if you have any cool ideas for one-off videos, leave them down in the comment section, leave them in the Discord section. Whenever I have a possibility, I will try to sit down and record a video for you guys to hopefully get as many videos out until the point that I can actually have the, the time and silence and everything I need in the house to actually do that on a regular basis. Then we can go back to seasons for Software Inc., but also other games. Now the topic today I want to talk to you about is team composition or team builds. Now, a question I get a lot from a lot of people is, how do I build my teams? Which type of jobs should I give them? How should they work? How many people? As with most of these type of questions, there's no single one good answer. It always depends on certain factors. Now, I could say, for instance, you should make a team of like 40 people. Well, I don't really think that you should do, but it's an example. But you can't do that in the beginning of the game. You can't hire just 40 people right at the start and just hope for the best, because that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I loaded up my save from Season 5. If you're interested in that, the playlist is on the channel, of course. I might add it to the description if I don't forget. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I will give you some ideas here. So what we're going to do is I will search for team. So these are the teams I made in this particular save. This is not how I do it always, because I like to change stuff up. I like to try stuff out, and that's one of the first tips I can give you. Try stuff out. Don't be afraid to reload a save. Don't be afraid to start over. Starting over is actually one of the most fun things in a game most often to do. And the same goes for Software Inc. in my opinion. If you start over, you have basically this whole world open to you with choices. What do you want to do? Who do you want to hire? How many do you want to hire? How do you want to start off? Which type of product do you want to build first? And all those questions, you have to start an answer to think of what type of team you want to have. So if we go into my team selection for this save, you can see that if we sort it by name, we have 2 art teams, 2 design teams, 2 dev teams, a law and marketing team, and 2 service teams. Now, service teams, it should be very easy. Those guys are working on the bugs and basically not doing anything at all. These teams should contain service people, but also programmers to fix the bugs. Okay. But that's important to have in those teams. Service teams are basically always a must-have. I don't like, your developing teams to work on the bugs. They can help out a little bit, especially in the beginning. But once you have the money to have a dedicated service team, make sure to have that, because that's basically a no-brainer. They will be busy basically an entire day if you have enough products up. And they will definitely help out with the quality of your product and the sales of your product in the end, because people are happy with the bugs that are being fixed, so more people will keep buying the same product. You wouldn't buy a product if you hear from everyone that is buggy and it isn't being fixed. Fallout 76. No, but that being said, service teams are a must in my eyes. So that's, we can actually give them colors. I didn't see that. I haven't played this since a long time. So there are some things updated which I don't know about, which is fun. So I also have a law and marketing team. Now what this does is, of course, law and marketing. You could change this up. You could split this up. In my save here, I added the law later on to deal with the research. I want some music with this. So, and once you do that, there's a possibility to just put them together. I chose to put them together. It's definitely not a must. You can always take these out. You could also put the law in with the service team, have a few good lawyers in there that could also fix some bugs maybe. That could also be a possibility. But my choice is to go with law and marketing, because lawyers you can teach the marketing, and marketing you can teach the lawyer side basically, and they will level up due to service. So you don't really have to learn them how to use laws or basically anything. So But this is the part which actually is the most interesting. How to develop and how to design products and everything. How do you do that with teams? Now, for this save, I chose to have an art team. We have several because we have a lot of different products in the works. But I start off with one art team, one design team, and one development team, or dev team. Now, the dev team only has, if we go over here, if we go to team, so if we do this. So the art team obviously only has artists, but they have a secondary goal of design, which keeps them busy. If they don't have any art to do, they will do some designing. Same thing goes for art team 2. Design, only working on design, because I basically have always something to do for my designers. Either it's a product or research or whatever. I can always give them something to do. And it's also because of these specializations, because art, as you can see, has 2D, 3D, and audio, which you can specialize in with the stars. I'm not sure if there's gonna be another one adding at some point in the game. But as you can see with design has way more star possibilities, so way more specialization possibilities. So if you have an artist, if you have a team of artists, it's way easier to hit every specialization with a 3-star artist than it is with design, simply because they have more different specialization possibilities. So it helps out to have some artists that can also do design, just to help out a little bit on the easy parts of design, and then have them really good at 1 or 2 areas in art. And again, the music stopped. So yeah, that's basically my thinking. Then we have the design teams that are basically specialized in design. You can see that here, all specializing in different design areas. Try to min-max it as good as possible that you have in your design team at least a 3-star for everything. But if you want to do products with a lot of 3-star system, for instance, you should have most of them at 3-star system. That's the ones we have the most, because we are making an operating system and games, which requires a lot of system design. So that is basically what you're thinking about. But then you can also see you need a lot of questions answered before you actually start to look at your team composition. Because what my favorite team composition is not really this one. It's a mix of design and art. So it's a design/art team, if you will. So you have artists and designers in the same team. We'll train them up as designers and artists. It will cost a little bit more. They will be a little bit more expensive because they have more things to do. They are more skilled in different areas. And they will be more, they will not be specialized like 100% art skill and 100% design skill. They will be more like 75-75 at the same point in time, because they will level up slower because they have to do other stuff. But in my eyes, it is very versatile because they can do a lot of things. The problem with having an art team or having a dedicated design team most of the time is that at some point you're going to hit a moment that they don't have anything to do, that they're just wasting time and money, basically. Now, you can use the deals to keep them busy, but most of the time it's far more efficient to just give them some other job within the system. That's why I like to have normally a design/art team and not 2 different ones. But for this save, I tried out the 2 different ones. And then we have the dev team. The dev team consists of only, as you can see here, programmers. This is the hardcore programming area. So this is basically the development team. So the development stage of a product. If we can go and take a look here, we should probably be able to see. These are iteration 4. Yeah. So I'm not going to play this save again, or actually I could reload it again, I guess. If we're now developing, this is the development phase, and this is only code and art. So we need artists, which we have, and we have the other team that we need is development, so code, programmers. We only need programmers and art for this phase of the actual thing. Let's get the music back. Now, that's why I chose only programmers. They don't really have to do anything else. You can see that my character also is a leader, has some designing skill, because I started off as a one-guy company, of course. So I would actually advise, if you start off, you don't really know what to do, start at least with a little bit in design, so you can actually start designing your own product yourself, and don't have to hire a designer for that. But yeah, that basically everyone else is just a programmer. Is just a programmer. They have some skills, some basic skills and other things, but basically they don't do that. So they're only programmers, and the reason for this is there's always some programming to do. Always. If you develop a product, you can, do it on the code. If you're in the designing phase or whatever, you can let that development team help out with the bug fixing of certain projects. So for instance, if we go back here, we see that support for this one, we have some bugs, and we have verified bugs and some fixed bugs. Now, there's a difference here. because we haven't fixed all the verified bugs. If you would let a team of programmers, skilled programmers, work on this, those bug fixings will be going much faster. So they can help out your service team with doing something really productive, actually, because it makes your product better, and it makes sure that you sell more of this product. Let's check something else. So this is very new. But for instance, this one, 93 verified bugs, 93 fixed. So basically, every bug that we found is fixed. This is good for our reputation, this is good for our fans, and getting better reputation, getting better fans means more sales, means more money. That's basically how you make money by having a good team composition, because having your teams work efficiently is what you should really focus on. Now there are other options. Of course, you can make teams like I used to make teams for like when I made like a team for a 2D editor, I would call a 2D team and I would give them all this specialists that they needed. So a designer for 2D for all those different fields that we needed, for instance system and 2D, but also some programmers that are specialized in 2D, so that we can have a small team that is truly specialized in one certain area. Now, the way we have done this save is we have just development teams. So they need to be good at everything, basically, because they are used to do everything. We are making games, we are making operating systems, we are making... I don't even know what we've made in this save. I can't even remember. Okay, we mostly made games. We have an operating system on the go here. So we are trying to branch out in different areas without creating new teams. Because creating new teams, if you're going to very, very much specialize in 2 or 3 products, that can be a very efficient method. But this one is very much better if you want to go broad, if you want to have all the different products to be worked on, basically, in the future. So make sure, before you start the game, know which products you want to start off with. Everything is possible. I heard people say that it's not possible to start off with an operating system in this game. It is definitely possible. I've done it multiple times. You just need to know how to do this. If you don't know how to do it and don't know how to start off, here's another tip: develop software. Operating system. Of course, we are in 1992 tech here, so but you could just click on some things, and if we now go to next page. Where you can, over here, you can see the specializations. So you need system code, you need audio, art, and you need 2D design. Now, of course, you also need system design for this and audio design for this. And there's a good chance you also need some, if we would do this, yeah, we also need some 2D art here. So that's basically, you can basically see this. You also need a little bit of audio code. So this is how you could read this and could see which type of specializations you could take when starting a game to make these things work. So if you're not sure, just start up a game, do this, check out the things that you would like to add in your first product, for instance an operating system, and just check out these graphs and see what you would need in which different areas, and then make a well-informed choice on how you want to build your character, and how you build your character will also make sense in how you build your team setup. So basically you have a lot of choices. Don't be afraid to try stuff out. Don't be afraid to fail, because that's not a problem. You will learn from it and you will be better at these things. Now, also don't be afraid to just fire people that don't work out. I mean, if you start off the game, you will definitely hire some people that are maybe lower skilled, or maybe in the end don't fit in with any of your teams. Don't be worried about that. Just fire them. There is a chance now with the new updates, of course, that they will sue you and that you have to pay some money to them. It doesn't really matter in a sense, because if they're just sitting there and they don't fit in, it will cost you a lot more money. And the other thing is, basically you have 2 choices. You can also train them up, but that also costs a lot of money, and you have to be certain that they have the skill to actually get to the point where you want them to be. So you always have those choices, and don't be afraid to use them and make those decisions. There is definitely something good. Most people are just too afraid to do this type of things. Now, in this particular game, and people that have watched the season know this, I haven't fired anyone. I believe I haven't fired anyone. The reason for that is not because I don't like to do that. Well, I don't like to fire people, but especially not my patrons. But the reason for this is that I knew from the start what I wanted to do. I wanted to make games, and at some point I want to go over to an operating system. So I knew I had to make broad teams. So that's why I wanted to go for the design team, the art team, and the dev team. Now, knowing what I was going to make, I could also make a choice about which specializations I wanted for the people that are working there. So, for instance, system specialization is very important for our people here. So they're specializing in system and some others across the board to make sure that we can handle all the other features that we are going to implement in the future. So that's very important to know. And once you know that, you can actually build a team, and you can make sure that everyone you hire, which I've done here, is actually fitting in with your idea of the future, of what you want to build in the future, but also with what you're building now. So you don't really have to fire people. You are working with this team composition the entire way down the line. And that's basically what I want to say. So don't be afraid, try stuff out, just try out what feels right. There's no one good answer. Different situations ask for different team compositions. You can always change it later on if you want to. Don't be afraid to just try stuff out. My personal favorite is design and art team together, one good development team and a service team, and maybe since the new update, a law/marketing team. Different from that. Normally I would have a service team and a marketing team separated, but that's just my personal favorite. I like to use that. I feel like it's the most efficient for the things I do, but it might not be the most efficient for the things you do. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this a little bit of a different video, but like I said, I have to record some one-offs instead of seasons because I can't sit down regularly enough to record seasons. So this is basically what we're stuck with until I can. If you have any good ideas, then make sure to leave them in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoy these type of videos. If you want some other tutorial videos, I guess, about Software Inc. Or maybe another game we've played, then leave them down there. I will try and do that as soon as I can sit down and record another one. As always, I've been Hipbone. You've been yourself. Thanks for awesome, and thanks for watching.